Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be teaching you the correct position for hand position on the bench press. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple different ways with regard to the hand position that you could set up. Before we get into the hand position, want to get into the actual setup of the bench press itself. First, we want to make sure that you could plant the feet firmly on the floor. If you're a little bit shorter with shorter legs, instead of doing something like propping your legs up on the chair, you're going to be a little bit less stable. So you'd be better off grabbing something like an aerobic stepper and placing your feet on there so you could be nice and firm. Then, once you have your foot position set up, you're going to go ahead and then lay back. When you're laying back, you want to make sure that your eyes are in line with the bar. You don't want to be too far back, otherwise you're going to run the risk of hitting the pegs, and you don't want to be too far forward. If you're too far forward, then you're really going to have to reach over and you're going to be placing a lot of unnecessary strain on your shoulder. So with regard to the actual hand position, there's two different ways, and then there's going to be a lot of variation in between. But for the two general broad recommendations, you're going to bring your arms straight up, point your fingers. Wherever your fingers are pointing, that's going to be your grip. This is referred to as a biacromial bench press. So you're going to go ahead, get into your setup position. Then from here, you're going to point your arms straight up so that your fingertips are in line with the acromion. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to bring your arms back, and wherever your fingers are, that's going to be your position. For this first one, you're going to keep the elbows tucked in by your sides, come all the way down, and then press up. This variation right over here is going to be really good if you want to get a little bit more tricep strength, and also if you want to focus more on the clavicular head of the actual pec major. With regard to the pec major, you have the sternal attachment where it crosses the sternum, and then you have the clavicular attachment where it crosses upright. So because the clavicular attachment is on more of an oblique angle, when you place your arms tucked in, that muscle is going to be responsible more for flexion as opposed to the sternal attachment where it's just horizontal adduction. So if you want to target a little bit more of the upper pec or the clavicular attachment, you're going to put your hands closer together, keep the elbows tucked in, and do more of a flexion of the humerus or the shoulder joint. Now, if you want to focus more on the sternal attachment, you're going to do more horizontal adduction. So horizontal adduction, you're going to bring your arms up to 90 degrees. When bringing them up to 90 degrees, what you want to do is you're going to flex your elbows and shoulders to 90 degrees. Wherever that position is, that's where you're going to place your hand. So same thing, we're going to go ahead, get into a setup position. You want to get that 90-degree setup, and then wherever your hands are, you're going to reach up, grab the bar, come up, and then what you want to do is you are going to come down so that your humerus is at 90 degrees. You're going to press all the way back up, and then that's going to be the setup position if you want to focus a little bit more on the sternal attachment. You could focus on anything in between, see where exactly the shoulders feel great. But if you want to focus more on the upper pecs, elbows tucked in, closer grip. If you want to focus more on the actual sternal attachment, elbows out to the side, more of a horizontal pressing motion. But give those two a try, see which one feels more comfortable.